I hope I hope you never have to learn the hard way, because when you learn the hard way, it leaves a lot of scars, rage, bitterness, trauma that you have to unlearn before you can fully apply the lessons that you've learned. But if you learn the easy way, it's a much smoother transition, or you just avoid the obstacles altogether. When I first discovered the red pill, I was about 19, but I had to rediscover it when I was about 24 because of my first breakup. Sure, I mean, I dated other girls when I was younger, but like this girl was the first time I felt like I'd had the ground swept out from under me, bro. You know that moment when someone says something to you that is just so fucking mentally and emotionally devastating that like you feel like you're falling. You remember that scene from Get Out, and that dude had, yeah, that lady was hypnotizing him, and then he fell into that the sunken place, you know, that black abyss where that like he just there was nothing else, but there was just pure nothingness. Like, fuck. Not, I'm trying to see what it looks like behind me, but fuck it. You see, that's when I had, cause like when I was dating this girl, I only got her because I was applying the lessons I was learning from dudes like Based Zeus. That was, I'd say, my first introduction to red pill content, and I stopped watching Based Zeus and all the like teaching men's fashions and stuff like that when I I got her, cause like she had been my crush from high school, and then I finally got her after the dude that she wanted broke up with her. Having to relearn that shit, man. Like, of course, this time now I had to go through that red pill rage phase of like, women suck so much, man. All women are bitches and stuff like that. You know, watching Fresh and Fit and not really being there for the education, but for the fact that he pisses women off so much. So I hope you never have to learn the hard way, because after discovering the red pill, sorry to have made this about myself so much, but while I was relearning this stuff, I noticed like in the comment sections throughout the internet, on the Reddit, on the YouTube videos, there were men in like their 40s, 70s, bro, who were talking about like, yeah, my wife left me 5 years ago. You know, my wife left me 10 years ago. My wife left me 6 months ago when her high school boyfriend came back into the picture, stuff like that. And learning these concepts like from the Rollo Tomasi's, like about genuine burning desire and the dual mating strategy, hypergamy, and shit like that, just made me realize, yes, it hurt. It hurt like fuck, and I wish I hadn't had to have been hurt in order to learn those things. But like, imagine discovering life-changing knowledge that can literally save your life or prevent you from making devastating mistakes. But now you are 50. Can you imagine just the feeling of how much time you feel like you've missed out on? So yeah, I mean, 24 is a really young age to learn the stuff that I did about like the world. 26 is still a young age to be learning the stuff that I'm learning about the world. But I'm just grateful it was this soon. You know, I see dudes like when I'm watching Hamza videos, you know, I see guys who are like 17 who are like, yo, bro, I'm so grateful. I see guys in the comments who are saying they learned this when they were 25, and I'm so grateful I don't have to make those mistakes. And similarly, another thing I'm grateful for, gotta make sure this thing is still recording. Another thing that I'm grateful for is the fact that I can avoid the mistakes that men my father's age have made. Shit, even mistakes that my fathers have made. You know, I can avoid those. And this is another reason I'll never get married, but I'll get into that in another video. But yeah, man, like imagine just, I hope you never have to learn the hard way. That's all I wanted to say in this video. If someone gives you advice, who the fuck is messaging me? If someone gives you advice and it sounds sound, at least consider it. At least try and find other people who have been through the experience of what that person has been through in order to give you that advice, just to crystallize your knowledge of it. Don't just dismiss it and be like, that'll never be me. I'm never gonna do crack. Bro, you don't know what led people to go out and do crack. It might seem obvious to you, like, nah, I don't do crack, until you realize one day, oh shit, I've made some terrible friends. Cause why am I smoking this thing, right? So yeah, take advice. Take advice with a grain of salt, of course, but any advice that sounds sound, try and consider it. Don't don't be the guy who had to suffer before he could become wise. Like I've often heard this quote as well. It says, smart men learn from their mistakes, but wise men learn from the mistakes of others. So if other people have made like life-changingly bad decisions and they are here telling you, yo, young man, don't drink alcohol every weekend. It's gonna fuck up your body, it's gonna fuck up your mind. Then don't be like, nah, I'm never gonna be that guy. I'm not gonna be a lifelong drug addict. Bruh, you know, the arrogance of ignorance is a real thing, bro. Whew. It's terrifying. Like it's also frustrating to be the guy who's trying to give the advice. Like when you're like a guy in your 20s talking to teenagers and you're telling them about the rabbit holes that they'll likely fall into, and you can see he's kind of listening, but he's just waiting for you to shut up. Like at some point, even you as the one giving the advice, you just go like, you know what? I guess he'll have to suffer. So yeah, man, I hope you never have to learn the hard way. If you got any value out of this, stick around for more insightful takes like this by hitting that subscribe button, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace.